Hello, so good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, depending on where you are. It's a pleasure to welcome here once for the one more EuroStruct live talk. Today with us, we have an esteemed colleague from Germany, from BASt Holst, which will be our speaker. And also moderating with me, we will have an RCZ from University of Gustave Eiffel in France. And it is a pleasure, and I want to compliment you and also all the audience. I also like to mention our supporters, in this case, University of Minho and ISIS, for the platform that it's available for doing these talks. Also to IABSE and FIB for being a dissemination supporters. And finally to Boutique, that is all giving and providing all the design stuff for these talks. Before I ask Andre to present our esteemed speaker, I have some information to everybody. The first one is that either in the Zoom chat and in the Facebook, you're gonna see a EuroStruct survey about the resilience of critical infrastructures to pandemic situations. So I'm going to ask you to fill up this survey during our talk. I think it will be a very interesting way to have outcomes and important outcomes on what are the best practices for managing these different types of infrastructures. And also, finally, I want to give you some information concerning the procedure on how to place questions to Ralph. So you are attending us either on a Zoom or either in a Facebook, and you have two possibilities. If you are on Facebook, you can put your question there, and myself and Andre will receive your question from the Facebook. We'll receive here and we'll place the question to Ralph. For those that are assisting us on Zoom, you need to place your question to the EuroStruct Association account, and you can place this question on the Zoom chat. You have the chat, you mention to whom are you placing the question, you choose EuroStruct Association account, and you copy your question there. And then myself and also Andre will receive these questions and we will place them to Ralph. So I hope this is clear. You will be with the micro and the camera turned off. So that's the reason why we ask to place the questions either on Facebook or on Zoom, but writing it. And I wish you all a pleasant time now hearing Ralph, and also after an open discussion about this relevant topic that Ralph is taking us today. So thank you very much. And Andre, please, now the floor is yours.
Yeah, thank you, Jose. So a few words about Ralph Holst. He is a senior researcher working in the Department of Bridges and Structural Technology at BASt. So BASt is part of the Federal Ministry of Transportation and Digital Infrastructure in Germany, and acts as an advisor for the ministry and as a research institute which carries out research work in national and international projects. So Ralph has more than 20 years of experience in the field of inspection and management of bridges, tunnels, and other civil engineering structures of roads. Since 2017, he is the deputy head of section maintenance of engineering structures. He is author and co-author of several technical books regarding bridge design and calculation, bridge inspection, and bridge management. He is also teaching assignment on the topics of bridge examination and preservation at the Bauhaus Universität Weimar. And finally, I should mention that he is member of the executive and the advisory board of the German Association for Bridge Inspection, VFIB. The aim of this association is to promote quality in education and training for inspection engineers. So this is a short introduction of Ralph. I wish you a very good speech and a good talk to all the participants, and we can talk after and chat after the talk. So please, Ralph.
Okay, thank you very much to Jose. Thank you very much to Andre, and also to all people who organize this EuroStruct live talk. I'm very appreciate to have the possibility to have a talk about what we are doing at BASt, what I'm especially doing, but not all parts I will present I'm doing directly, and therefore I think there are some interesting topics. And at the end of my presentation, I hope that we will have a good discussion. So I have prepared some slides, and therefore I will start. Oh, sorry. Yeah, I have a small agenda. First of all, I will introduce BASt, but only a few words about BASt, the Federal Highway Research Institute, then about the normal bridge inspection in Germany, because I think this is important to understand what are the new techniques we are dealing now with. And then I have also just mentioned, Andre mentioned before, something about training in Germany, because we think training of bridge inspection team is a very important part between the techniques. They also have to see how they have to evaluate damages and something like this. So therefore, BASt, Federal Highway Research Institute, as mentioned before, we are part of the Federal Ministry of Transportation. We are directly part of the ministry. That's not similar with other countries. There, we also in Germany have other research institutes, but here we are directly belonging to the ministry, and as an advisor, when they have from other politicians questions, so technical questions, so that we can ask them. This is our area, also our test facility near Cologne in the middle of Germany. And we are dealing with regulations, standards on German and international level, and also some test areas, as I mentioned before. You can see above, there's also a test area for cars, because we are doing this also, this star evaluation for cars also at BASt. There, bridge inspection in Germany is mostly, or in most cases, it's a visual inspection, and there we have guidelines that are very important. The basic guideline is our DIN 1076 guideline. There it is mentioned that every 6 years, every road and the structural engineering within this road has to be evaluated. 3 years after a major inspection, a minor inspection has to be conducted. And then, and this is interesting, this DIN, normally DIN in Germany is for standardization, and it's not mandatory for all road authorities. But because we have no other regulation in this area, this is also mandatory also for rural areas, not only for the highways and for the state roads, but also for smaller roads. And therefore, every bridge in Germany, and we have round about 120,000, 140,000 bridges, has to be inspected every 6 years. And so I think this is a very important part. Then we have a guideline. This guideline is only mandatory for the main roads, for the A roads, for the B roads, and also for the states and roads. And there is described how we evaluate damages. This can be done in different ways, but for our main roads, we have a special guideline. The first part of this guideline, or the first version of this guideline is from 1998, and now the last one from 2017. Then we have ASB here. In this guideline, you can find how the data are described, so that at the end we can put it into a database. And since 2011, we have a guideline for the recalculation of bridges, because we have found out, and I think other countries also have found out, that to recalculate older bridges with the new Euro codes leads us to a lot of underestimation, and on the other part, there are damages on the older bridges, but they are just doing their work. Therefore, we created a guideline for calculation how we can deal with this older bridges in Germany. Therefore, here some small slides about our database. It's an old one. We are now dealing with a new one. We hope in the end of next year we can have a rollout with a new Bauwerke version. But here it's interesting. We have only one program system for every 16 states. In Germany, we have 16 states and the federal ministry. And the 16 states are responsible to do every work on the roads, to plan the road, to build the road, to do the inspection. The federal ministry is the owner, but has no administration itself to deal with this. Therefore, they work together, and BASt in between as an advisor. And we at BASt collect every half year the data from the 16 states, put them together and make evaluations for the federal ministry and for other possibilities. You can find some evaluation at our homepage, BASt. And yeah, so Bauwerk 2.0 will be a web-based tool, because this one, our tool we now have, is from 1998. There we had no internet. So now it's a web-based tool, and we hope that it will be more user-friendly. And hopefully we can also use it then in a better way for building information modeling, because that's a huge topic also we are dealing at BASt. And so, yeah, this is how we are defining in Germany our bridges. There are components. We are around about mostly 13 groups of structural components, and every component is a part in our database. And our handnear inspection is doing on this level of the component of the bridge. And here you can find, unfortunately, only in German, but I will define what are the important things. On the left hand, you can see the parts of the bridge, and every damage in Germany is evaluated regarding 3 criteria. SVD, as you can see here. S is for stability, V means traffic safety, D means durability. And then we have a system from 0 to 4. 0 means this damage, as you can see here. This is from an expansion joint. There's a problem in the pavement, and there's not a problem. The stability is not a problem. Maybe the traffic safety and the durability, because when the damage will go further, there will be chloride induced in the construction itself, and then we will maybe have a problem. That's how we describe every damage. So that was the normal one we are dealing in Germany, but as a research institute, we are interested in new techniques, and drones or UAVs or UAS are well known. And in 2016, we started our first project to see how useful drones can be for bridge inspection, and not to replace bridge inspection, but to support bridge inspection. Because with a drone you can go very fast to every part of the bridge. You can take pictures, you can evaluate pictures. That's a problem or a project we are now dealing with AI and something like this. And in 2016 we wanted to find out what are the possibilities or also the boundaries. We wanted to use the drone in a box girder, yeah, but because of the dust and the noise, it was not useful to use the drone in a box. But outside, I think it's very useful, and it's also basis for 3D or XD modeling. Also, maybe a part of building information modeling. Here are some results of this first project to get the information so that at the end we can have a 3D model and yeah, as I just mentioned before, use it for building information modeling, but not every 3D model is building information modeling. But I think that's a huge topic, too huge to my talk today. Maybe some questions we can have later. So next step is that this is an ongoing project. We then want to see how we can support the bridge inspection team itself to get more information on site, maybe on site augmented reality. We are now want to find out whether maybe head mounted displays like Microsoft HoloLens, or maybe also tablets or smartphones can be used to optimize the bridge inspection. Because also when we have a 3D model of a bridge, we can use it, and when we have the damages from the last inspection, then we can bring it directly to the inspection team with these devices. The first idea to use head-mounted displays, but now during this project, we see it's not maybe so useful because the bridge inspection teams are not familiar with this. With a smartphone or with a tablet, yeah, they are familiar, but with a system on a head, it's not so easy. So from the technical side, we are very interested, but from the practical side, maybe we will see whether it will be useful. But also VR, virtual reality, so that you can see whether on the next slide, yeah, you can see whether not only at the bridge itself it is useful, that you can have in real time a talk or conversation with a colleague in a bureau or something like this, where he can see also what you have, or before the bridge inspection or after this bridge inspection, you can see what are the damages, to talk about the evaluation of the bridge itself, and have better communication. Therefore, we hope that this project, it starts on March this year, and it will go to the beginning of 2023. And then we will see how useful this is. But I think it's a good idea. That next step are, smart bridges. Smart bridge, this is not only from our section, but it's from the section of concrete. There is the idea, it's a cluster. It's a cluster of research project, I think round about up to now 12 or 14 projects within this smart bridge. And the idea is, and to have not only some single sensor, but to combine different sensors, as you can see here, different sensors, and to combine it, to evaluate it, to see how you can use it, because bridge inspection has the problem that is only you get information from one date, from one time. Monitoring, you have the possibility to see behavior over a longer period of time. Therefore, it can also be useful, and especially to see what will be the remaining service life, because that's a huge topic in Germany. We have but I think also in other countries, we have our bridge stock, which is very old nowadays, and we have to see what is the remaining service lifetime to have the appropriate action at time, so that we not have the problem as in Germany with our Leverkusen-Rhine bridge. We have to close it for heavy traffic, I think 4 or 5 years ago. But now it's working only for small cars, not for trucks and not for heavy trucks, and that's a huge problem because it's a bridge over the River Rhine, and there we have not so much in Germany. So, and we have also a digital test area at the A8 in Bavaria, in the south of Germany, where we have put in this smart bridge with smart devices or smart bearings, smart expansion joints, as you can see right below. there is an expansion joint instrumented. And there we also see how the behavior of the bridge. This is a new bridge, and it's part of this digital test area. This digital test area is also for automotive cars and something like this. And we have a small part with our bridge. And we are learning what sensors are useful and how we can combine it. And also car to infrastructure, car to car, and something like this. Yeah, this was a technical part on the one side. The other side, the education. Because I went to university 25 years ago, and there was one course, I think, about damage detection. And then most of the training courses or the lectures was about design and the construction itself, finite element and something like this. But bridge inspection was another topic. And therefore, in 2008, we together with the states and also the chambers of engineers created a training course, a 1-week training course with theoretical part and also with practical part. And around this, we have a Society for Bridge Inspection. And now we have also further training courses so that every inspector has to go every 6 years to training courses so that he can be updated with new information about new structures and new regulation and something like this. Every 2 years we have and come together an exchange of experience. And I think this is very important because bridge inspection, you need the basis of static, something like this from the university. But also in the same level of importance is the practical experience for us. Because you cannot learn it when you have a book or something like this. You have to go outside, you have to learn it on site. And therefore, we think our way is a good way. And as I mentioned, I'm also in the advisory board and now for the federal ministry and the head of this administration. Yeah, I just said before, 5-year course. We have a certificate at the end and every 2 years. And yeah, just mentioned, yeah, you can find it there in 2018, 2 years ago. We had a new movie, Bridge Inspection. We have a small version you can find on YouTube, and a long version. I don't know whether it's on YouTube, but you can find it on the website of our association, but also on the website of our federal ministry. And there, also in the long version, you can see how we deal in Germany with bridge inspection and also with tunnel inspection and something like this. I think it's a very good movie, and yeah, it's for free. And when you also need for lectures the film, I can also give you a link or send you the small version. Send me an email. So, okay, yeah. Okay, yeah, the certificate is nowadays the basis for bridge inspection, and the road authorities, especially for the rural roads, use this very often to get experience bridge inspection teams. But we think it's only one part, this certificate. But we are lucky that everybody wants to have it. Yeah, network of experts. Yeah, that's also an interesting part, because normally we are dealing with roads. In Germany, we have also research institute dealing for the railway and dealing with the topics for the waterways. And in 2016, we started a network of experts with 7 institutes belonging to the federal ministry. Also the Institute for Weather Forecast, the Research Institute for the 3 modes, rail, waterway, and road. And we work together because we have same problem. Waterways have problem with aging infrastructure. The railway has also the problem. And therefore we decided to work together to come to results in a very fast way. Yeah. use synergy effects and results, get faster results. Yeah, and I was the coordinator of topic 3, increase of traffic reliability. We are dealt, as I'm always dealing with structures, and we dealt with now with the normal bridge inspection, also with reliability and risk models, the behavior of the future. We also dealt with resilience and extreme events, because the normal aging and the normal environment is one step, but to dealing with the extreme events is also very. This report here is in Germany, but 2 days ago I received the English version, and hopefully in 2 or 3 weeks the English version will be available at our homepage and free for everybody who are interested in. And when you want to have further information, don't hesitate to contact me itself. So, okay, I'm a little bit over time, but okay. Big challenge for all bridge owners around the world, I would say. And the normal bridge inspection is a good idea, but now we have the possibility to see what are new techniques who can support, who can make it bridge inspection better, make a better basis for digitalization, for BIM and something like this. And we are at BASt dealing with this, and also at EuroStruct we're dealing with this. And yeah, I'm very interested in these topics, and now we will have to see what we can discuss this topic about. Thank you very much for your patience to hear. This was the bridge inspection in Germany, I think in the 1950s, 50 years ago or 70 years ago. Yeah, thank you very much.
Thank you, Ralph, for this very interesting presentation, and of course, very in line with what EuroStruct aims for. So we needed to do better and more in this line. Yeah. And before starting placing the first question, we already have some questions from the audience. I want to inform all of you that you are with your camera and micro turned off, and that if you wish to place questions, you can do either on Facebook, writing the question there, or here in the Zoom chat. You go to the chat and you write your question directly to the EuroStruct Association account, and then myself and Andre, that is moderating with me today this talk, will put the questions to Ralph. One more thing before also placing the first question is that it's running either in the Zoom chat and in Facebook. It is running a survey, and I'm kindly asking you to fill it. It's a survey about the resilience of critical infrastructure on the pandemic times that we are living today. So if you have time, please go there, and during the talk, you'll be more than happy to invite you to fill in this survey. So now it's time to go to questions, Ralph. And I have here some questions from my side, but I have also questions from the audience already. Yeah. I'm going to start with a question from the audience, from Jan Ferguson. And Jan is asking that in Scotland, the major inspections are realized every 6 years, while the minor ones are realized every 2 years. And they recently started a risk assessing these intervals of time to potentially increase or decrease these intervals, of course. Is there something similar in Germany going on? Perhaps using some of these technologies you mentioned to inform the risk assessment procedure?
Yeah, we are thinking about it. Also, the federal ministry are thinking about this. We in Germany, we have the discussion that we want to have this 6 years and 3 years time space, because when you go to judge it, it's standardized in Germany. But to have to increase or decrease the amount of the inspection. And there we are dealing, and also I don't know whether I mentioned it, our system is a hand-near bridge inspection, but now we are adding new techniques like tunnel scanner, maybe for tunnel, also for an inspection device for cables, to see what is the risk. At present, we have no risk evaluation, like the Dutch people or something like this, but we are doing work on our, also in our network of experts, and hopefully we will have a reliability or risk assessment in our evaluation. At present, unfortunately, we don't have a reliability and risk assessment. And the time scale, maybe we have to discuss the time scale. In, I think 6 or 7 years ago, we had a problem in Germany with wooden bridges, because they had a huge problem with deterioration from the inner side to the outer side. And with the normal bridge inspection, it was not possible to detect all the problems. And there we have to decide that they have to do a major inspection every 2 years. And, but now we have also devices to increase it. But the idea is right. We are also thinking in this direction, because the hand-near bridge inspection is very time consuming, very, very cost effective, or costs a lot. And for the bridge inspection team, sometimes, as you can see here in the picture, or on the other side, it's you are dealing with risk also for your inspection team. Yeah, it's a good idea. At present, not, but in the future, yes.
Thank you. Now, Andre, it's time for you to place your question.
Yeah, we'll also start. There is a question from the audience, from Amir Kedar. Are you going to include the BIM platform in the next management system? I think you mentioned Bauwerke 2.0.
Yeah.
And if yes, how are you going to create the model, the BIM model?
Yeah, okay. Oh, that's a huge topic, because I'm not an expert in BIM model, but okay. Bauwerke is not a management system. It's only a database for construction and damage data. We had developed a management system several years ago, but it's not now in operation. The federal states doing in similar one. But yeah, the next step of Bauwerke 2.0 will use the IFC standard for the exchange of information and data. And therefore, we hope and we think it will be useful for BIM. Also in our project, I just mentioned, in our augmented reality and virtual reality project, we are now dealing with this topic, with this question, to see how we can get the information from these devices in our database. But at present, the IFC standard doesn't know damages. There are developments in this area, and in the next step, IFC 4.0, I think, there will be damages included, but not yet. But more in detail, especially regarding the system itself, unfortunately, then I have to go to my colleague who's more involved in BIM itself, because I'm not the BIM expert, because BIM is so huge topic. But it's clear we have to see that every information have to come together in a BIM model or in a digital twin or something like this. But then you have to define what is a BIM model. Is a normal 3D model a BIM model, or do you need a 5D model? Is it the same model for finite element calculation? Because in Germany we have a lot of discussion, but in most cases it's not quite clear what is exactly a BIM model. Therefore, it's the future, and we will dealing with it, but we have to do a lot of work to combine it. But with our new database, we want to go in this direction, because the Bauwerke database now is not capable for BIM.
Okay. Ralph, we have a question also from Meyer Melham. In fact, he is placing two questions. Mm-hmm. The first one is, does the German inspection combine the CVD criteria from each bridge component to provide an overall bridge structuration? And the second question is, and does it provide any relationship between component condition rating and structural capacity?
And what for capacity? Sorry.
The first question is if the German inspection combined SVD criteria from each bridge component to provide an overall bridge structural condition. So from the component to the structure type. From the component to the. And the second one is if it doesn't provide any relationship between the component condition rating and the real structural capacity, which is another story.
Okay, I understand. Okay, first of all, the first question, as I mentioned, SVD, we or the bridge inspector evaluate every damages regarding the three criteria on the level of the components. And then the most, and with this, I haven't mentioned it here, and with this SVD, then we have a condition index or an index for this damage. And then we have several damages and condition index for the damages on the component level. And we have a maximum principle that the damage with the severest damage is important or leads to the condition index of the component, of the maybe of the bearing or the expansion joint or a superstructure. And then to have the condition index of the total bridge, it's also the maximum principle that the most severe damage leads to the condition index of the bridge itself. And now we are going to the second one. It's not directly combined with the load bearing capacity of the bridge. It's only evaluating the damage. Therefore, since last year, we have a new information load bearing index, we call it Traglast in Germany, but load bearing index. There we have a relation between the target bearing load bearing capacity and the real bearing capacity, because and then we have a little bit more the reliability in this evaluation. At present, a calculation of the reliability index is not part of our system. Rade Haydin developed for us in the network of experts a small system to have an estimation for the reliability index. And we are now discussing it with the federal ministry in the states, how we can combine this with our normal condition index. Because we are all see that this condition index is, we are also thinking that it's not a key performance indicator because there is no risk and no reliability directly included. That's a backlog we have to deal with in Germany. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Andre?
There is a set of questions regarding training bridge inspectors.
Yeah.
So the question is, can you precise how the bridge inspectors are trained, including these new technologies? And there is a question in link with this question. Alfred Strauss is asking regarding the drones. Do you already set up a specific education system for the experts in your organization? They made the experience that to run this type of inspection, you need experts in different fields like IT, engineering, and database experts. And also, Alessandro Pucci is asking, do you provide these courses in English or only in German? And which are the prerequisites to participate to such?
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So, okay, three questions.
Three questions, yeah.
Yeah. I will see that I can come to the point. Yeah, unfortunately, at present, we only have training courses in German language because we have 4 parts in Germany, 4 institutes who are dealing with this training courses. But maybe we have in the past we got questions from outside to send our lectures also to other countries, and it belongs to themselves. The organization itself is a small organization, and we are not. We cannot offer also training courses in other countries, but you can, when somebody wants to have more information about training courses and about people who can have a good lecture, send me an email. I have the connection to the advisory board and also to the presenter, and maybe we can find it. At present, we have no training course in English available. The requirements to get to our training courses are, I must say, our basic training course, the 5-day training courses, ends with a certificate, and you have to make a test at the end. Only to visit this training course, there are no requirements. But to get to the tests, we need to have civil engineers with with a minimum of 5 years experience, practical experience, and 2-year experience in the structural construction section, and 2 years of experience in the area of bridges and or in the area of bridge inspection. This is the basis for us because we are dealing with further training courses. We are not at the beginning. That's a problem. We are dealing together with universities. I'm also, as you mentioned, I'm also have a lecture at the Bauhaus University in Weimar. We have also lectures in the university in Bochum. But in Germany nowadays we have only few universities who are dealing with bridge inspection in their master, or normally in the master courses. But we are also hope that we can convince them to make more training courses in the university, because our small association cannot do the basis. But we are doing, when they have information, when they know what a bridge is and how to evaluate and calculate a bridge and what are the structural behavior, then he can go to our training courses. And the third one, Andre, have I lost something in a question?
No, I think you merged the answer in your because it was concerning the drones.
The drones,
to have different fields of expertise, which is necessary when you want to propose some training.
Yeah, we think that drones, everybody can use a drone, but to make very good pictures and to have a good evaluation, you need experienced staff. And normally you need 2 persons, 1 pilot and 1 engineer, because when the pilot also is responsible to take the pictures, then in some time we had a project, and then the pilot lost his drone because he wants to go very near to the structure, and then he didn't mention that there was a lot of wind on the other part of the bridge, and then there was a drone lost in the river Mosel. But we are think now, but I think we have 1 road authority here in North Rhine-Westphalia. They have 1 or 2 people using drones, but they are building this just starting to build up this experience. At present, as mentioned, you have to know how to deal with this, how to take pictures in which direction. Maybe when you also want to know these pictures for a model, for a 3D model, you need a lot of experience. Now, normally they hire a company to do this inspection and send the picture to the road authority, and then maybe they also doing then AI evaluation with pattern recognition. This is also a topic a lot of people and also we are dealing now.
Ralph, there is here, I think you already answered, but there is here a question from the audience about if the images from the drones are automatically elaborated or by the operators.
Yeah. At present, it's a research topic, but we hope that in the future, we just finished in the end of last year a project also with the Bauhaus University Weimar, Professor Morgenthal, where they had to evaluate with AI damages, especially cracks. Cracks are a very good part to start this evaluation part. And we have also contact to other companies who are dealing with this. And we hope in the future that we can support the bridge inspection team with a augmented reality or maybe virtual reality, that the system can see and evaluate on site. Therefore, you need a lot of information and a very good internet and something like this. But the technique, we have the technique now to mark on a photo or on the tablet that there can be a crack from there to there with a width of 2.0 or something like this. At present, it's not in operation, but we found out that the technique is there. We have to see how we can bring it in a very good quality level outside on the bridge. There are something special problems with a tracking and something like this, but hopefully in 2022, when our augmented reality project will finish, we will go a little bit further. Yeah, or a lot of.
And I have here only 2 questions. We were speaking about the training. EuroStruct is also giving some training courses also.
Yeah.
To try to cross-check among different countries,
yeah.
The similarities or the differences on the inspection and assessment of bridges. But my question is, what is your personal opinion about training bridge inspectors, and if there is any requirements to be a bridge inspector in Germany?
Yeah. My experience is, but I'm dealing with this area, but I'm not a bridge inspector itself because I'm not so often directly on the bridge itself. A very important part is on the one hand, you must have the knowledge of the behavior of bridges and to see, okay, this is a crack because of the structural problem, or this is a crack because of the building of the structure from shrinkage and or creep or something like this. This must be the basis. And next part is in our guideline DIN 1076. I didn't mention before. There it's written, and it's very important for us that bridge inspection in Germany must be conducted with a civil engineer, with an engineer, because we think it's important to see what is the result or what can be the problem with the damage. Because there are problems, especially River Rhine Bridge. There was a major inspection. They found out that there was a lot of new cracks and also in the main girder of the bridge. And immediately they have to close the bridge. And to do this, you must have the knowledge to see this is not only a small crack and which is a problem for a part of the bridge. When you also think on, you find out that there's a huge problem for the total bridge, you have to close the bridge. And therefore you must have a lot of knowledge. I know, and we have also discussions here, what is with technicians when they have 20 years of experience and something like this, they also can do bridge evaluation. That's no question. But I don't know whether they have the background knowledge about the static behavior of the bridge. Therefore, in Germany, it's the most important to be a civil engineer.
Thank you. Andrei?
Yeah, two questions from Peter Esmala. First one, are you incorporating machine learning and in UAV inspection, and are you able to detect airline cracks? And the second question is, have you already adopted the use of smartphones in bridge inspection? So maybe there is a question of accuracy, but it is much cheaper compared to some conventional sensors.
Yeah, I just mentioned in the project we finished with the Bauhaus University. Yeah, there the Bauhaus University used machine learning, beziehungsweise deep learning and pattern recognition, so that we can hopefully in the future support the bridge inspection team by marking with in a tablet or something like that. There is a spalling, or there can be a crack and something like this. And also the question with a smartphone. As I mentioned before, we just thought it would be useful to have HMDs, head-mounted displays or devices. But I just saw some months ago a very good app on a smartphone, and there was a BIM model behind, and very useful. You can go to every part of the bridge on your smartphone. And then I thought, okay, that may be a very good idea, because every bridge inspector has a smartphone, and he's used to use this smartphone. And when you have another device like head-mounted display, which is new and not so easy to handle, I think when the app is very good, you cannot use a normal program. It must be an app for a smartphone. Then it can be very useful, because the camera of new smartphones are very good, and then you can also see small cracks. And there was also a third one, airline or something like this. Correct?
Yeah, is it possible to detect airline cracks?
Airline?
I think very, very small capillary cracks.
Yeah. We are dealing in Germany with a tunnel scanner since around about 15 or 14 years, rotating laser going through the tunnel to support the inspection in the tunnel, and they can, with this laser, detect a crack with a width of 2.0 millimeter. In Germany, normally we want to detect a crack with a width 2.1 millimeter. But I think with this devices, we have a lot of discussions about it. Somebody told me there's a physical problem. You cannot detect a very small or so small crack on the other side. And another person told me, yeah, you have to wait 1 or 2 years. There will be a new chip in the camera, and then you will detect. At present, with automatically, we can detect a 2.0 millimeter cracks in Germany.
Rolf, we have a question from Amir Kedar.
Amir, hi.
Yeah, asking what is the annual spent in money on bridge inspections, total or per kilometer of network? Estimation.
Okay, I cannot answer it directly here, but I have to have a look in a regulation or in a document in our Association for Bridge Inspection. 2 years ago, we have a calculation model for bridge inspection. I will have Amir shall send me an email, and I will.
You answer him, right?
That, because at present I have I cannot calculate it directly, because in Germany we have the problem that on the one hand we have the calculation, what time you need for inspection, and on the other hand, in a lot of cases, the road authorities give it to engineering companies for half of this price, or maybe below. In Germany, we have a huge discussion about the price for bridge inspection. The road authorities, in some cases, also the road authorities of the federal states, don't want to pay too much. I think it's a very difficult discussion, because on the one hand, we have a lot of money to build this bridge and to maintain it, but for the bridge inspection, I had for 300 euro, there was a major inspection of a normal, it was a one field bridge with a width of 50 meters, but 300 euro with a reporting, and to go outside, it's not possible, sorry.
Yeah.
But in some cases, it happens. I think it's a problem, and we have to deal with it.
Also, we have here another question, Ralph, about field loading testing. If there are any guidelines and your experience in Germany about developing field load tests in bridges.
Yeah, I have to see. There is a guideline or a small report, but I think several years ago. I have to have a look afterwards, because my personal opinion is, what is the expected results from this? And for this test, because when you will go to the real load bearing capacity of a bridge, you have to make load testing very high, and then there is maybe it's a problem that when there are some severe damages you didn't know before, then there can be more deformation at the bridge than you expected, and then you have a problem. In Germany, I just had 2 hours ago, I had a question from Israel. They want to see whether there is a device or a car which can do load testing and secure load testing, I will call it. In Germany, 15 years ago, there was Belastungsfahrzeug, or a truck to make load testing and self-securing system, that when the behavior of the bridge or the deformation is higher than expected, they can suddenly reduce the load. Because you can also do it, you can go and have a tank or a heavy truck and to go to the bridge. But when there is a problem, you cannot move this tank or this truck very fast. But this system, Belfa, is a very, very good system, because they can remove it very fast, because the truck is connected to parts at the end and at the beginning at the bridge. It's not only useful for small bridges, 50 meters, but it's very, very good system.
Okay, Andre?
Yeah, 2 questions about the concept of smart bridge.
Yeah.
First one is by Pierre Perrac. What type of disorder is expected to be detected by smart bridge? And the second one is from myself. Are you or is the Ministry of Transportation interested in detecting overloaded heavy trucks on some part of the network?
Yeah. Okay. First one, the system or the idea of smart bridge is to involve all possible sensors. Normally, sensors for deformation, DMS, or also for temperature and for tension. Maybe when you have a new bridge, you can put sensors inside, also ultrasonic or something to see or to detect cracks in the tension or something like this. It depends on the expectation of the road authority itself. Smart bridge and also the topic monitoring is, from my point of view, first of all, you have to have a use case. What do you expect? What will happen? And then you have to decide what are the right sensors and where to place and how much and how long. That's also a very important question in smart bridges. To have a monitoring of months or 1 or 2 or maybe 3 years is standard, is not a problem. But when you will have a monitoring about 10, 20, 30 years, then you have other questions. Then you have you need a lot more sensors because you will lose some sensor over time. And there are also the possibility to have seismic sensors to see the behavior, the mode shapes, and also the eigenfrequencies. Helmut Wenzel is dealing with this since, I think, 20 years ago. I think this is a very good idea, but I'm not so convinced whether you can see also small behaviors or small damages, small cracks, because with the seismic sensors, you don't need to have a special use case. You can see how the behavior of the bridge is, and then you can react. Therefore, there are some different points of views, and I have not found out what is the right way. And your question, Andre, was sorry.
Yeah, with this, in fact, this connected bridge, the ability to detect on some portion of the network overloaded trucks.
Overloaded trucks, overloaded trucks are also a huge problem in Germany. And we are very interested to do this, but it's more not only a technical problem, but the problem whether you are allowed to take pictures from cars and something like this. I think I know in Austria they use this system to detect overloading trucks, and 200 or 300 meters after this, the police can catch the truck driver and can discuss this with him. We are interested in, but it's it's a technical but also a legislative topic, and that's not so easy to handle. I think so.
Ralph, we have here a person asking if you can explain what it means SVD.
SVD, yeah, okay, sorry. Every damage is evaluated by 3 criteria. S is stability, static stability. V is traffic safety, whether a damage maybe is falling or something like this, so that concrete can fall down and damage a car or a pedestrian or something like this. And D is durability. This means when there are cracks in the pavement or in the layer, at present there is no problem with the stability. But when you have salted water inside this crack, and then you go to the superstructure, then there can be a problem in the future. And therefore they have to see stability. S means is now at present a problem of the stability. Durability is a view into the future. Can there be a problem in the future because of this damage, a crack or something like this?
And then I have here 2 questions. One is from Lin Truong Hong, and she's asking about how drones, or how can we improve in order to make the capture of full surfaces of the structure, because most of this capture, the damage may be missing, and this is an issue when we are using drones.
Sorry, I didn't catch the point.
That one challenge of the drones is that they cannot capture the full surfaces of the structure in terms of resolution, and most of the times maybe they need to be very close to the structure.
Okay.
And this way the damage on the structure may be missing with the use of drones. Are you combining, or are you trying to solve this issue?
Yeah, it depends on the question you have. When you will go detect every damage very precisely, you have to go very near. to this structure itself. When you will have an overview of the total structure, you can have a flight around, and yeah, in between the girders or something like this, it's not so easy to see all, especially for steel truss constructions. It's not so easy to handle it. Yeah, it's a topic, but yeah, this is also why we say in Germany we don't want to replace the normal hand near or hand close bridge inspection by drones. We want to support. We want to support in this way that we can have pictures also maybe evaluated with AI, so that the inspection team get the information that on this part, and on the other part maybe a damage, and then they can go hand near and close with inspection devices directly to this part of the bridge. Maybe I think so. The technique of the cameras will also increase, so that you will maybe in 1 or 2 years you will have very precise pictures also from a distance of 2 or 3 meters. Nowadays, I think you need to be very close, and then, as I mentioned before, our contractor lose a drone because he was so near, and there was wind, and then he had contact, and then the flight stability of the drone was gone, and the drone was gone. But I think that now we will have only support, but in the future maybe we can replace it.
And we have here another question from Maha Al-Sudani. About the internal damage assessment. If you use NDT techniques to detect it, for example, internal cracks, or how can you determine its width?
Yeah.
The use of NDTs mostly.
Yeah, NDT is also a topic we are dealing in our section. We have a colleague, he is very experienced, has a lot of experience in this area. But non-destructive testing is not a direct evaluation, because a crack, you can see this is a crack. But when you use ultrasonic or radar, you have to evaluate these curves or something like this. And this is also a topic we are dealing with when a road authority or a bridge owner wants to use NDT, he will know before what is the percentage of the evaluation. Can I find, or can I detect special damages with a certain percentage of reliability? And at present, the colleagues and also the standards are not precise enough to get the information how useful the informations are. I think radar, ultrasonic, impact echo are very useful. We will have combined it also with monitoring to an overall system. But nowadays, it's not quite clear what the owner gets when he pays for a radar inspection or something like this.
Okay. Andre?
Yes, 2 questions. First one from Amir Kedar. Are you going to, or are you already using risk-based inspections? And the second one is from Lennart Elfgren. Which is your vision how you will carry out bridge inspection and assessment in 10 years?
On 10 years, okay. Yeah, as I mentioned before, unfortunately, nowadays we have no risk assessment in our normal bridge inspection procedure. As I mentioned before, we have a possibility to estimate the reliability index, and we have a small program, or Radar Hedin as a contractor of us had a program for this, but it's not in operation. We have to discuss it. But I'm sure we need to have this risk assessment in the future, so that the road authorities have the possibility to see, oh, here at this bridge, in this area, we have a high risk, and therefore I have to do actions in the near future. And on the other hand, there we have bridges with a very good reliability. Then we have to keep in mind, but we have much more time. And in 10 years, yeah, in 10 years, I hope that, yeah, in 10 years, maybe 5 years, smart devices are part of the normal bridge inspection. I prefer also in 10 years that we have a combination of the experience of the bridge inspectors, because he can react at the construction whether there is something he didn't expect, and to detect hollow spaces or something like this. But I want that he is supported with techniques like drones, like AI, pattern recognition, and something like this, so that the bridge inspection team has only to go to areas where techniques have detected possible damages, so that they don't have to inspect a lot of areas where are no damages. This is the reality now. They have to take the hammer and to go to every part hand near, so that they can use their time to evaluate damages or possible damages which are pre-selected from other techniques. Maybe this will be in 5 years, maybe in 10 years, because when or how fast we can bring it into practice, it's a question of acceptance of the inspection team, and that is not a question of the technique itself.
Ralph, we have here 3 questions. I have here 3 questions, and then I'm asking Ray to place the last question. So, or the last questions, group of questions. Mm-hmm. So from my side, we have a first question, which is more technical, which is if you combine real-time strain or deflection monitoring data with inspection to achieve a better understanding of the bridge condition.
Yeah. Okay.
This is the first question. The second question is more, let's say, is a question why there are no uniform standards for bridge inspection in Europe and worldwide, in your opinion. And the third question might be also related with this one, is we are receiving many applications for members from owners and academics in EuroStruct. Do you believe that EuroStruct could be a strong platform to bridge the gap between science and owners worldwide, in Europe especially, but also worldwide? So these are the 3 questions that I want to pose to you.
Okay, so the first one was with the deflections with information from sensors, or what?
Yeah, real-time data.
Real-time data.
How can it be included to better understand the bridge condition? Yeah,
that's, in my opinion, the way we have to do, or we have to go with this topic, digital twin. So in our department, we define digital twin as a system where you have all information about the bridge in real time. The construction data, the data of the normal bridge inspection, and when you have sensors or something like this, when you have a monitoring on a bridge, that you have real-time information. I think the bridge owner has the information in real time what the behavior of the bridge is. And that will not be next year or not only in 2 or 3 years, but I think there we have to go. Have to keep in mind that we not only trust in this digital system, we have also go in certain times directly to the structure, because, as I mentioned before, when your sensors are at the structure, you cannot be sure that you detect all changes in the behavior of the structure. Therefore, maybe in the future we will have more and better ways, maybe with the seismic sensors, so that we have at every time an overall view. But at present, it's not. But in the future, I hope, I think digital twin and all information in real time available to see what is the behavior and how to react. Then, sorry, the third one was...
The other question is about the inexistence of a uniform standard for bridges.
Yeah. Unfortunately, we saw it in the cost action that at present we have no standardization in Europe. And on the one hand, I think it would be very interesting and important to have a standardization, but I'm not quite clear what will be the level of the standardization, because when I see the pictures from Radar Hajdin from Belgrade, and when there are bridges in Germany, we have to close this bridge, and in Belgrade they use it. I think the security level in every country is a little bit different, and I'm not quite sure how we can put this into the system. And also in Germany, we have no speed limit on the infrastructure. Therefore, I think we have a different security level, or we must have a different security level than other countries. In Germany, we have in Berlin area and Cologne area 200,000 vehicles per day, and with 10, 15, 20% of trucks with this. And therefore, I hope we will have a standardization. I'm not quite sure what is the level, but we need to have a standardization because the behavior of the bridges are very similar. In some cases, we in Germany or in the northern part of Europe, we have more problems with de-icing salt. Maybe in Spain, not, or Portugal, not so much, but the behavior itself is same: fatigue and corrosion and something like this. And then when we have standardization, our voice may be a little bit better than nowadays. As I just mentioned before, nobody wants to, everybody knows bridge inspection is important, but nobody wants to pay for it in an appropriate way. I don't understand it nowadays. And therefore, your third question, EuroStruct, is for me a very good idea and a very good step further from the cost action to be a voice in Europe and also worldwide. Where we had colleagues from Chile on Monday. There's Colin Capriani from Australia, and therefore I think, and also in the cost action in EuroStruct, we have a good combination of practitioners, research institute, universities, and I hope that this will EuroStruct will increase, and because we have a good core group in this area, we know the people, we know the background, and there is no other association in this area. There are a lot of associations in other areas, and also dealing with our topics in some cases. But the key point of EuroStruct is bridge inspection, bridge evaluation, or evaluation of structures regarding roads. And I think it will be important. It is important. Yeah.
Thank you. Now it's time to Andre to place the last questions.
Yeah, last question.
Yeah.
The tools and the management systems you presented, is it more for diagnosis? So a picture of a structure at today, yeah. Or is it also for a prognosis purpose and for a structure or an asset to make some prediction and how the asset will evolve in the, I don't know, 5, 10, 15 years?
Yeah, at present, as I mentioned, what I have shown, the Bauwerke and also the Bauwerke 2.0 will be a database for state, for the situation, or what is the situation now. but we just discussed a risk assessment. Also, I mentioned this small tool to evaluate the reliability index, and also to see how will be the behavior or the reliability index in the future. This tool we need. I mentioned also before that in Germany we have evaluated or the developed management system, but because of several reasons, it's at present not in operation, but some 5 federal states have based on this system in similar system, and they use it. And I don't know whether everybody knows, in Germany we will have a change in the administration of the roads. In 2021, in the 1st January of 2021, there will be a huge private company, Autobahn GmbH, Germany a road company, and this company will be responsible for all A roads in Germany. Now the 16 states are responsible for A and B roads, but then there will be one company responsible for this. And now the federal states, but also the federal ministry and we have discussions with this, and they need to have a management system, and we will support them, because it's obvious that in the future the authority or this private company need the information what will be the behavior of the structures in the future to decide what structure has to be maintained in an earlier stage, and what can be postponed maybe for 10 years. Because only based on the current situation, you cannot decide. You need to have risk assessment, reliability assessment, and therefore possibilities are there, but nowadays not implemented in Germany, but we will have it in the future, I'm quite sure.
Thank you. Now it's time to acknowledge all of you, especially Ralph, for this very important and quite interesting discussion and presentation. And also I would like to acknowledge Andre for sharing the moderation with me today. And everybody in the audience was great to have a very active audience with so many questions. Before doing the closing, I want to give some brief information about EuroStruct and the associated partners. The first one is that the first IAPSEC online conference will run from the 2 to the 3rd of September 2020, and that the call for abstracts for the IAPSE symposium in Ghent from 22 to 24 of September 2021 is now open. With respect to FIB, the organizing committee of the FIB PhD symposium in Paris decided to hold an online symposium from the 26th to 28th August 2020, and an in-person symposium on 21 and to 23 of July 2021 in Paris. The online symposium, the FIB PhD online symposium, will be free, but the registration is mandatory. And also from FIB, the FIB Symposium 2020 in Shanghai will take place online from 22 to 24 of November this year. Finally, and concerning EuroStruct, I want to mention we spoke a lot about courses and training courses, and EuroStruct is developing a training course, the first one online training course, from the 2nd to the 4th of September 2020, and the registrations are open until end of July. So those that want to register and attend the course will be more than welcome. We are already achieving the limit. We already have a limit for this course. We are already achieving, but we ask to go to the website and proceed with the registration as soon as possible, because once we achieve the limit, we'll need to close it. Also, the EuroStruct 2021 conference will be held in Padua in Italy from 29 to 31 of August. And the call for abstracts will be released soon, and we'll inform everybody about it. Finally, we have next Monday, as Ralph already mentioned, the last EuroStruct live talk from this slot of 12 talks. And this talk will be on Monday, on 27th of July at 1 p.m. Central European Summer Time, and will be made by our esteemed colleague Colin Caprani from Melbourne University in Australia. And he will touch a point that we already discussed here in some of our talks, which is the traffic loading assessment on existing bridges. So I invite you all to assist this quite interesting talk about loading in next Monday, and see you next Monday. Have a nice weekend. And for all of you, once again, we wish you a pleasant day or a good evening, according where you are. So thank you very much. And thank you, Ralph and Andre, for this moment.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
You too. It was a pleasure.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.